Hey guys, let's see flowers here. Flower, how are you? Barb. Barb says, just waiting, my spiritual brother. Hope your day is going well. I will be mostly listening. My viral infection is 3 times worth it. Sorry about that. Breathing is hard. Hugs and blessings to one and all. Sending prayer, sending love, sending healing intentions your way, my friend. Flower says, what? Oh. Well, there's no W at the end, so it's more of a woo. And that she can't type. Anyways, I claim first or second. I don't know. I think you're going to have to get second. I don't know. Mir says first. How are you guys? How are you guys? And what's new in your world? Flower says she's good. Awesome. I'm doing pretty good today as well. I caught one more sight of my morning owl. I've been seeing him the last 2 mornings. Today he gave me the gift of flight, that he sat on a branch and posed, sat there calmly just long enough for me to keep filming, and then took off, which I was able to get. Owls are such amazing looking animals, amazing birds. And when you see them take off in flight, it's almost incongruous or incongruent. They just don't look like they would be that graceful, but they are. Goldie's here. Goldie, hi there, lovely people. Hi there, lovely Goldie. How was the banquet? Has it happened yet? This is a big weekend for Goldie and her family. This is graduation weekend. Natural Sound is here. Hi, sir. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday to you, my friend. So it appears, according to a recent update, our friend UK Medic has something to celebrate later today. Nice to see everyone saying hi to each other. Natural Sound says, today, Eric, in jungle. What did you see in the jungle today? Goldie says her daughter is still there. I thought she might be the first to sneak away. You told me that she wasn't really looking forward to the banquet part. So I'm going to do a quick little scroll through on YouTube just to see what's going on with some of our friends. Tokyo Gold King 69 is live. I'll pop in a little bit. He'll be live all day. He's a gaming channel, and man, do they take their gaming seriously. 8 hours, 10 hours, or more. You really don't realize the feat of endurance that is. I mentioned that before, talking about Masha, talking about Medic, and our friend Noble, who I haven't seen for a few days, going live for that long a period of time. Flower says I won't be here for long because I need to sleep. Hey, I appreciate you being here at all for even a little bit. Natural Sound says I'm here from there, sir. Hey, that's awesome. I don't know if I've had anyone come in from the jungle before. Goldie says I called her once to give her the details of the transformation back home. Great. So she's all set for a ride. So, I was thinking last night's live stream, and we had the opportunity to chat with someone who was clearly suffering because of traumatic events in his life, that his mother was an alcoholic and her heart stopped while she was trying to recover, and an abusive husband. And really, when I have those conversations with anyone, it clarifies what I would like the live streams, well, the whole channel, to be a place of healing, however healing appears to each and every person. Sometimes healing is just a matter of coming in and dumping off some stress on someone. So maybe that means someone might come in and be a little trollish, a little unkind. But in a lot of ways, that could be healing too. I'd rather someone come in here and dump on me, not you guys, but dump on me, than dump on his wife or her husband or their dog or their kids or a stranger. It seems about broadening my own perception of what healing can be. Afterwards, after that conversation, he seemed to feel better. And oddly enough, because I got to revisit in our conversation some of my own past trauma, I mentioned before my somewhat fractious relationship with my own mother. I mentioned before my heavy drinking, destructive drinking. Can't even say heavy drinking. I drank very destructively, very self-destructively. I thought I was having a good time, but deep down I knew exactly what I was doing. Or let's say I claimed, even to myself, that I was having a good time. But in actuality, I was slowly killing myself. And I was blessed with a moment of grace where all of that ended, literally in a moment. How it happened, why it happened, I have absolutely no idea, but I'm eternally grateful every single day that it did. So that conversation last night really helped me, again, revisit just a little bit of that own trauma. And we all have our trauma in the past, whatever that might be. We could even consider, the birth experience to be somewhat traumatic, how we're safe within our mother's womb and unexpectedly thrust into the light. In some cases, smacked on the bottom. I don't know if they still do that anymore or not. I don't think they need to do it. I mean, I know it's supposed to draw air in, but I would imagine by now. Should look that up. Maybe I will. Let me bring up my desktop here, guys. In case something goes wrong. As it does from time to time. Yep, something went wrong. You see, I wasn't getting any updates. The last update I had was from Goldie and her talking about her daughter. And look how much I missed. I wish I knew how to reboot my phone. But I can't. So, Master Sergeant, retired, Mocha is here. Hey, Mocha. Goldie says she hated the smoke and the smell of alcohol. Yeah, I don't blame her at all. So sorry, guys, I was rambling on and didn't realize my phone had stopped again. I'm glad I brought up my desktop. Natural Sound says Goldie is also there. Goldie says, yes, she's in two places. As only Goldie can be. So I'm doing a little bit of catching up here. Dottie's here. Dottie, how are you? How's your Sunday going? Hello, everyone. Just a quick pop in as getting ready for my first premiere. That is coming up, guys. Check it out. Squirrel Sniper's here. Squirrel Sniper, how are you? Greeting beautiful souls from across the pond, but under the same skies. Nice to see you, Squirrel Slider. Flower says second mod here. Hey, did we get our oh, there we go. I was wondering if we got our traditional greeting from Hello Flower to Mocha. Hi, Miss Mocha. Lots of A's, lots of exclamation points, and a star. And then we get our traditional greeting to Flower from Mocha. Hey, hey, little ray of sunshine, flower. One more So let's see what else is going on. Oh, yep. By the way, make sure 100% check out Dottie Dora, UK Explorer, and her first premiere. I think you said, did you say 7:30, or am I mistaking that? UK Medic is here. Hey, Yogi, it's Boo Boo. Our friend William Downey said he was going to change the name of his channel to just Boo Boo doing push-ups in his garage. Medic, how are you? Daddy says, hope you're all having a beautiful day. It's been a nice day. A little humid out this morning, but not too bad. There was a nice breeze. Goldie says, hi there, Medic. Congratulations. I'm not going to say anything. I did mention that Medic hinted of a reason to celebrate. I didn't want to say anything more unless he wants to say anything more. And then we can talk more and more about that. We can talk as much about it as we want, because indeed, man, that's an achievement. It's not an achievement. It's something you work for, you strive for, and then when you hit it, it's that mix of relief, that satisfaction, that the thing that you have been striving for, aspiring for, is now here. Daddy says, yes, 7:30 London time. Kay's here. Kay, how are you? Dottie says, hi, UK Medic, loving your channel. Oh, yeah, I know especially Dottie would love UK Medic. It is right up her alley. Everything that he offers. Goldie says, how was the day, Eric McCarty? It was good. My usual. I've been having some funny people come in at my 5 a.m. Live streams. Right now I'm reading from the Tao Te Ching, but we ended up after that talking about boxing, old boxing, and then Mike Tyson. Who would have thought that you can make the connection from the Tao Te Ching to Mike Tyson? I wish I had a little longer. It would be fun. Medic says, was surprised after losing a ton of watch hours to then find that I am now fully monetized. The process has already gone through. That's absolutely awesome. I'm going to make sure that I watch every ad that comes up, knowing it's a whole different perspective when you're watching someone's channel and an ad comes up, knowing that you're not really supporting the ad itself. You're no longer supporting just YouTube. Now you're supporting the person that you came to visit. Whole another experience. Goldie says he has live schedule, so it's out of the bag. I saw that he did, but I didn't want to speak out of turn. It's a big thing. It's a real big thing. I actually posted on his page that it's big news. And we know two things: that no one deserves it more than UK Medic, and no one has worked harder to get there. It was work, a labor of love. Every single one of his videos are put together. He's a craftsman. Daddy says, well done in getting monetized, well deserved. Kay is great. Yogi, and you? I'm doing good, Kay. I'm glad to see you. Looking forward to the next garden update. Kay Renee has Kay and Odom, Micro Farmer, 3 favorite gardening channels on YouTube. I see Eric Lapointe is here. Eric Lapointe. Eric, and then in the middle, the new Burpee King, the Burpee Prince. Prince Eric the Burpee Machine is here. Hope you guys had the opportunity to check out Eric Lapointe's Burpee Sessions. 2 now. And he dove into the deep end. Didn't take an easy path. It reminds me of back in April when our friend Kay Renee's Garden was on her burpee journey. Burpees every day of the month of April. It was April, wasn't it? Yes, it was April. As May was Gorilla Rows with kettlebells. Medic says, yep, it was instant. I just had to click one button. Man, that's awesome. Absolutely awesome. Goldie says, yes, Medic, I saw that. I'm not your #1 groupie for nothing. Kay says, let's see here. Good point. Congratulations again on your first live. That just now popped up on my screen. I'm sorry to have missed it. I would have liked to support. I'll check it out if he keeps it up. I would have liked to have been there. I was taking a shower, it seems, when he was live. I like to come here, you know, fresh and shiny for my friends. Especially considered I've done some type of workout-ish at least 4 times so far today. Barb says, you must support the private person. The ad means nothing, but I place through them. It helps them get paid. Exactly. That's the plan, Barb. Medic says, thing is, I have always done is use revenue to help support other channels. Awesome. Goldie says, hi there again, Eric Lapointe. Well done, you are a natural. Mocha says, is it too confusing that I have Master Sergeant in my name? Nope, not at all. It's significant. Those who know will know off the bat. Those who don't know now have the opportunity to say, Mocha, what does that mean? And you can let them know. Mocha's a very modest person. You won't often hear her talk about her 23.5 years of service in the U.S. Air Force. So for me, as I said, it's significant. Eric Lapointe says Prince, the Prince of Burpees. Prince Burpee a lot. How's that? That would be a good YouTube channel. Prince Burpee a lot. Merce says, hi, sir. Looking at your house and office. Amazing. Thank you. It's a nice little office, a little cozy. I got a cat laying next to me. Every office should have a cat laying next to you. Probably a dog too. Who knows in the future? . Mur says, and Eric started live stream today. It's amazing. We're looking forward to checking it out. Eric Point says it was an accident. Hey, you know what? When an accident like that happens, you got to just go with it. Medic says probably going to have to do an hour-a-day lives to maintain it. Once you're there, you're there. It never slips down. Don't have to do anything. Goldie says sensor is in 2 places at the same time. Awesome. Eric Point says I stopped to watch it to watch your live, my friend. Hey, I appreciate that. As mentioned before, the infinite world of YouTube, there is room for each and every one of us. Hey, if I'm live and I see Eric Lapointe live, I'm certainly going to send people his way. Well deserved. It's the same when I see Medic live, when I see Barb live. I love mentioning it and saying, hey, you know, check them out. You can always come back here. I'll be here. You don't have to come back here. I'll still be here. It's all good. Goldie says you can't demonetize Medic if you don't keep your hours. Nope. Everything I've read says once you're there, you never have to reach it again. Watch hours really don't matter after that point. Now you're all about getting views. Medic says Eric had 500 in his life, but he stopped just to be here. Sacrifices we make for our friends. Much appreciated. Mia says, Goldie, you are so supportive and kindly. Stay blessed. She certainly is, my friend. She certainly is. So, my own news with watch hours is I've slipped into the 200s. Not by much. 299 watch hours left. Man, I'm hoping in 2 weeks or less. So our friend Mir said to Goldie, she's so kind-hearted and supportive, and she is. One of the reasons why I've reached this point. Each and every one of you guys who have come in here, our friend Mir, Eric Lapointe, Medic, Dottie, Flower, of course, Mocha, Barb, you guys just being here. And of course, man, I would be really remiss if I didn't say Mayhem and Miracles, who I met on James Gype Gype. So let's start with James Gype Gype. Big thanks to him. And then Mayhem and Miracles, who just totally revamped my concept of live streams and how to get watch hours. If I had not met Masha, I would be struggling, probably less than 1,000 watch hours right now, wondering what's going on. How do I get there? Absolutely amazing. I also met many of you great people through Mayhem and Miracles. Medic says, Goldie is a favorite vampire princess. Medic says he'll be there for Dottie. Awesome. Mocha likes that vampire princess. Wolf, how are you, my friend? Natural Sound says some people support unconditional like Goldie. And you as well, my friend. Definitely Goldie and definitely you. Natural Sound says, I am a med. Yes, you are. That's what I mean by you being so supportive. You come in full force helping people. Burpee Reaper is here. Fresh off of 1,000 Navy SEALs yesterday. And look how enthusiastic he is. If I did 1,000 Navy SEALs, I wouldn't be typing. My arms would be too sore. Medic very kindly says he will include Dottie in his next shout out. That's awesome. Unk is here. Unk, as well is just off of 1,000 plus Navy SEALs. Lewis did 1,000 plus Navy SEALs as well. If I'm not mistaken, Unc, you had a workout today as well. Well, I know you did, as you're keeping that streak alive. 1,500 days of burpees. Barb says your shorts should help with watch time. That's the plan, actually. Well, I thought shorts didn't help with watch time. I thought they only counted as their own thing, which is why there's two separate things. But I could be wrong about that. Signature is here. Hi, Eric LaPointe. How are you doing today? Signature, how are you? I got a chance to go on a drive with Signature today. Lovely, beautiful drive. Hope you guys had the opportunity to go and visit with Signature. Hunk says, how you feeling, the Burpee Reaper? Mocha says, okay, I liked how Moonwolf looks. Yeah, Moonwolf has a nice ring to it, that's for sure. I had to look up above and see that Mocha or Wolf says you can just call me Wolf. Let's see. I'm going to make sure that I am catching up. I'm falling a little bit behind. It's a little harder on the desktop. Well, that's no excuse. It's hard on my phone as well. Medic will be right back. Needs a drink. Goldie says, well, thank you for the compliment, Medic, but please don't advertise my side gig. Can't let the vampire secrets out. Wolf says he's doing okay, just hurting in my lower back. Any improvement, Wolf? Reaper says he's feeling good. No burpees today, but I ran 6 miles. Awesome. Your wife got you out there. You were fueled by maple-covered donuts, burritos. What else? What else happened yesterday? Reaper says, how you feeling, Unc? I get the feeling that Unc feels the same every day. I could be wrong about that. Nothing seems to slow him down. Reaper says, appreciate you, Eric. We get a link from Signature for his channel. Guys, go have a lot of fun. Go have a peaceful drive with Signature. Take a stroll on the beach. Soak in the scenery, soak in nature. Plus, it's good company. Amazing company. Barb says they count as views, but if someone watches all the way through, the minutes add up. Okay, that makes sense. But ads are there, not with shorts. Makes sense. Hunk says he did his 100 live this AM. Was sore, but every day that ends with a Y. So you keep a streak going, guys. You just show up. I've made some changes in my workout, as explained in my burpee video this morning. Big thanks to Burpee Reaper, as well, and always Duncan Walsh Fitness Motivation. just goes to show you could be doing something for a really long time, and I have, but it helps to have that outside perspective to help you switch things around a bit. Stay creative even in your workouts. Look at Eric Lapointe, again, who just dove right in. He studied some of the greats. He studied Lewis. He studied Duncan. And now look at him. You don't get that title, the Prince of Burpees, without doing something right. It's not like someone just hands it out to you. As our friend Night Watcher said, all willy-nilly, like I do with my wrenches. You earn your title. Let's see. Speaking of Hannah Nut Wrenches, Natural Sound, because we all know who Natural Sound is, has gotten a wrench because he's been a huge, huge help and support all the way through. I got some really nice and positive comments from him this morning. Reaper says, you are the GOAT, Unc. He is the GOAT. There's that upper level burpeedom. Burpee King, Moses, Unc. Definitely Lewis. I'm always tempted to put Max Edwards up there. Lee Hazard. I'm not saying it's a hierarchy. Everyone deserves their place. But these are the guys they've been doing it forever. Let's see. Reaper says, we sure are, Unc. When we get on the platform, we push each other, keep grinding. Unc the Warrior. Yeah, you guys are a deadly combination. That's for sure. One burrito and some rural tacos, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. Yeah, you earned it. Eric Point says, I don't know how you do it, Yogi. I was struggling to keep up with the comments. Yeah, they keep on rolling, don't they? Maybe it's easier on the desktop. I don't know. I'm behind. I'm not too far behind. Paying some attention to my cat real quick. Unc says, reps are always easier in a collab. That's probably true. Okay, says load a natural sound. And there it is. All caught up. Goldie says, Night Watcher. Yeah, I think Night Watcher might be a little miffed at me. Reaper says, not me, Eric, but Unc deserves to be with those top dogs' names because of the days he's been doing it straight. Unc is one of them. I agree. Definitely deserves to be up there. However, your thing isn't doing a streak. If you wanted to do a streak, you certainly could. You have your own different creative agenda. But I put you up there because of a couple things. Because you start over each year, because you take people along with you on your journey each year, and because your reps are flawless. Really, just a thing of grace to watch, as I've mentioned plenty of times before. Hey, our friend Vincent is here, Whore of Spice. He's got his new live up. It was Friday evening, if I'm not mistaken. Or was it Thursday evening? I don't remember now. You guys can go check him out. Goldie says is, okay, guys, is Medic back? He is not back yet. Eric's Point says, I know Unc's secret. It's sour gummy bears. Don't tell anyone. We all got a secret. So that's what keeps Unc showing up day after day after day. Reaper says, appreciate you, Eric. Always. And they'll take it. Hey, you earned it. Unc says, yeah, my weakness is sour gummy bears. If I open a bag, I would eat it all. That's why I don't open it. Unc and I have the same philosophy. Mocha has seen it happen. If I start with a brownie, I will eat all the brownies. If I start with a cookie, I will eat all the cookies. Goldie says, well, then I'm going to make a joke. Let's hear it, my friend. But Sean Lynch's secret was Skittles. So maybe the point, you're onto something. Reaper says, Eric, I just eat a banana. It's my secret as well. Bananas and blueberries. Blueberries really, really cut down on inflammation. So if you are suffering in any way, it's a great source of fiber, great source of antioxidants. Blueberries might be the perfect food to eat. Perfect addition. You're not going to get any great deal of calories from your blueberries, but they need to be put in there a lot. Vince says, I juice a lot. That's awesome. I used to juice quite a bit before I became vegan, but I stopped. And then after I became vegan, I was doing a lot of smoothies. That way it maintains the fiber as well as the integrity of the nutritional profile. So, drum roll, please. I don't know if I can do it. There we go. We got one from Reaper. So we have a joke coming up, guys. Vampire Princess. Princess Vampire. So this is what UK medic means. And the Princess Vampire has been hiding out amongst us the entire time. We just didn't know it. I think we all suspected it. I think medic was hinting at it, that, hey, there's a hidden danger here. That's awesome, Goldie. Natural Sound said, the Burpee Reaper, amazing job, dear friend. Natural Sound said, Eric, I support here also. Very much appreciated. As a matter of fact, you guys could see that. It has been up since I got up this morning, and that was at 2:30. Let's see here. Pardon me 1 second, guys. There we go. Just had to do a few quick changes. Reaper says, appreciate you, Natural Sound. Princess Vampire says, "Oh yes, yeah, they have uh, SPF 500 now in makeup. I can walk outside in full sun. Finally, after hundreds, if not possibly thousands of years. Actually, Romania. So I'm going to say probably thousands of years. Side gig exposed. That's awesome, Goldie. Checking out a quick message. And back. So for those who might not have seen up above or some of the other talks that we've had this weekend, Goldie's daughter is graduating. This is weekend graduation right now. Absolutely awesome. It's a big, big step. And the great thing, the awesome thing, is Goldie's daughter knows exactly what she wants to do. Which was not the case for me, and I suspect it wasn't the case for quite a few people. Some of us have to stumble upon it. Some of us don't ever stumble upon it. So here's a question, and maybe Eric Lapointe, you can wait and talk about it on your next live stream. How did Eric Lapointe become a tree farmer? Natural Sound says, Goldie, support you here also. You're a good friend. Princess Vampire says, but there's an issue. I have a hard time applying it. Mirrors don't always work. This is true. Little things that mere mortals like us take for granted. Goldie says, no to Natural Sound. That's for private use. Give me just a second, guys. So, hey, speaking of live, Sweet Acres Koi Farm is live as well, if anyone wants to visit him. I have not made it into a, I like visiting his channel. I haven't made it into a live. I'll do my best to try to in the near future. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have her up now to lend out some watch hours. Barb says you're all great friends, as are you, Barb. Very much appreciated. Liliana, you know what? I couldn't forget the name Liliana if I tried. Such a beautiful name. Combines two of my all-time favorite names. As a kid, I remember my father telling me about a actress, a famous actress. I don't remember if she was um, British. She toured the Old West, Lily Langtry. If you guys ever saw the Paul Newman movie, um, Judge Roy Bean, based on a true story, loosely based. It was a good movie. He named his bar. Was it Langtry? It might have been Lily. Lily's Rose, I think it might have been. Named after Lily Langtry, his favorite actress, who he saw once. Anyway, I remember my father telling me about that, and I just always loved the name Lily. And I think Anna's just a really pretty name. So putting those together, Liliana, I definitely remember you, Liliana. Barb says, thank you. You're welcome, my friend, and thank you. One of the best things I've ever done on YouTube was click on, should I get out my cheat sheet or should I try to do it without a cheat sheet? La Akira. Clicking on her live stream and just instantly feeling like I was invited to spend some time. Barb says, love that movie. Yeah, it was a great movie. And Goldie drops Natural Sounds link. Thank you for that. Brian Lane is here. Brian says, hey, Eric, chat. I thought I'd stop by for a few. I appreciate that, Brian. How are you? How's your weekend? Princess Vampire says, so I'll wait for a medic to drop back in. We'll be surprised. Gordy said I needed it for my tablet. So Flower said at the beginning of the chat that she might go asleep. She might fall asleep, or she might not be here for long. I'm wondering if she's asleep. Let's see. Eric LaPointe says, Liliana is my daughter's. Liliana is your daughter? The Liliana that is here? That would be pretty cool. Gordy says, well, it's a running joke by now. Brian says, I'm okay, man. Thought kind of was a weak excuse, missing Burpee Day when saw Leo saying he showed up and went to work. Hey, Brian, we all do what we can do when we can do it. I didn't participate. I did my burpees. I talked to Duncan Walsh about it a bit yesterday, that for me, it was sort of needing to stick with the things that I do on a daily basis. I felt some wavering patterns of my emotional energy, and I just didn't feel like it was the right thing for me to do at that time. So, you make your decision. Don't look back with regrets, because you mentioned before in one of your talks, there's nothing to look back on. It doesn't exist any longer. You have this moment. You show up every day. So that's what counts. Cody says, I hope so. She needs her sleep. Yes, she does. We've all seen her up here supporting at all hours for her. Brian says, didn't sign up because I had to work. Hey, when I saw Leo saying he showed up, I went to work. So it's okay. You know what? We all do what we can do. Brian says, didn't show up because I had to work. Goldie says, exactly. I think our friend Nightwatcher could do with some more sleep as well. Young energy is incredible, but it's not inexhaustible. I think we've all been at that age, and well, I know we've all been that age, but I think that we've all had those moments where we felt invincible, like we could run forever, work forever, do stuff forever, only to realize that no matter your age, it all catches up with you sooner or later. Exactly. Goldie says they are young, but it will hurt them later. It certainly will. Brian says, yeah, I do my own burpee workouts just about every day. Keeps me going and leave the past with addiction behind. That's your focus, Brian. Recovery. It's always about recovery. And you make those decisions. You make those decisions that safeguard your recovery, and you just keep going. Wolf says, not me. I was born old. Some of us were. Goldie says, or Brian says hi to Goldie. Goldie says, it's always a pleasure. It is always a pleasure to get a chance to talk with Brian. So I'm looking to see what's going on. As I mentioned, I got Sweet Acres Koi Farm up. Just wanted to make sure that I hit the like button. Speaking of which, if you guys are here and you don't mind hitting the like button, I guess that is good for algorithms, right? The more likes you get. I mean, more likes don't necessarily count to more views or more watch hours, but if it does capture the attention of algorithms, then we're onto something. Brian says, yeah, I'd like to jog and work out to keep moving forward and growing away from past that doesn't exist anymore. Exactly. Brian says, yeah, I just hit the like button now. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, that's what we do, Brian. I was lucky that I had so many habits that sustain me in place when I would say I quit drinking, but a better way of saying it is drinking just ceased. It ceased to be an issue in my life. And man, I mentioned before how forever grateful I am that it happened that way. For one thing, the fact that it happened at all, and that I was able to have a life of sobriety. And two, it also showed me that miracles really do take place. And that fact astonished me so much that my rest of my life has been one of the things of readying myself for the continuous expression of that miracle of sobriety. So, yeah, the meditation, the yoga, and the exercise were all there in place, laying a foundation so that when I was able to leave drinking behind, I had that foundation to walk on. Hard for me to imagine someone who doesn't have that foundation, which is why I think like AA, not for everyone, but for people who need something, some kind of ground beneath them, AA is a great experience. The thing, in my opinion, is you don't want to be any more addicted to AA as you were to your original addiction. It's the way the Buddha said that when you his teachings are a boat, and when you reach the other shore, you no longer need the boat. You lay it aside and you continue on your way. But again, hey, it's not for me to tell anyone how best to handle their addiction and how to approach it. Night Watcher, we were talking about you, my friend. Oh, I thought I saw Night Watcher, maybe not. Gordy says she'll text back if she feels like it. True. Brian has support here also. Oh, there. I did see the name Night Watcher, but not Night Watcher himself. Squirrel Sniper says, to fully overcome an addiction, you must also overcome the substitute. Man, that was perfectly said, Squirrel Sniper. Perfectly said. Otherwise, it's still an addiction and you're still attached to the original addiction. Now, rightly speaking, you could say you have two addictions. One's probably not killing you, although if anyone's ever been into a smoky room during an AA meeting, I don't know. Yeah, Squirrel Sniper. Nail right on the head. Brian says, isn't that Night Watcher Mirror Med? Nope. But Mirror Med is also natural sound. Hey, Brian, definitely visit Mir's channel, because I know you love nature videos, and he probably has the best bird videos on all of YouTube by far. So it's weird. I'm not used to being caught up in a chat. That's one of the things we've talked about with Joe Delaney. They obviously weight loss, obviously 325 pounds. I think it might have been more. I don't remember now. I'd have to check out her page. But I know it was 300 and something. That's a practice. It's a journey. Her weight loss was a spiritual journey. It was an emotional healing journey, as well as being a physical journey. She had to have that some type of foundation set, some type of belief system to help her. Talking about recovery, I much prefer the term recovery, I think, than any other addiction, past addiction, fighting addiction. Recovery means it's done. You're there. Now you can step away from it. As our friend Squirrel Sniper, which I'm going to quote again, to fully overcome an addiction, you must also overcome the substitute. Mir Ahmed says, sorry for not pronouncing your name right. Mir Ahmed? Eric Lapointe, I've been mispronouncing every single name here from day one. I know I might not have mispronounced Brian, but I have spelled it wrong on his channel quite a few times. I've probably even stumbled over Goldie. I've probably even stumbled over Eric for Eric Lapointe. And you've all heard me stumbling with the many incarnations of Night Watcher. Natural Silence says, Eric, stay blessed, friend. So we have burpees and live streams to look forward to from Eric Lapointe. Big occasions. As well, the last I checked, which was the burpee video this morning, Eric is at 116. I'm on his page now. I think it was 114 earlier, and now it's 116. Well deserved. Eric is putting out quality content. It's just great to see someone open up in some pretty amazing ways. That he is opening up to sharing his surroundings, his love of nature, his sharing the work that he does as well. Now he's sharing his burpee journey. Unc says, oh, when you going live, Eric Lapointe? He was up, what I saw. How long ago was that, Eric? Eric says, not sure. Brian says, I told Eric on his chat, just take your time doing burpees. Don't got to rush through them. That's how I got better at them. Great advice from Brian. It's also the advice that you would get from Burpee Reaper. So for me, when I dove into the burpee world, it was Busy Dad, Max, when you rush through it. Of course, you don't want to sacrifice form, but it's all about the numbers. And I do think that Burpee Reaper and Brian Lane's suggestion is a much better, it's a much saner approach. If you watch Unk, who, as I mentioned before, him and Duncan, I think, are the two most explosive athletes in the burpee community. Putting Paradox up there as well. Oh, and Tony Hand, of course. But he doesn't, you won't see him, rushing through his workouts. It's not how fast can he get 100, although he certainly can go fast. Let's see, can I drop Eric Lapointe's link? I think I can. I'm going to try. By saying that I think I can means that I can do it from my desktop, but I don't know if everyone can open it from the desktop. Eric Point says, well, 116, that's cool. It is cool. And again, well earned. Squirrel Sniper says, I've been deep diving into the myth of Medusa. Two things. What drew you to dive into that? Or just natural curiosity? That's how it is with me a lot of times. Just it'll pop in my head and natural curiosity. And what have you undwelved? Is that an actual word? Undwelved? If it isn't, we can say that it is now. You know, if someone says something, I debate this with Mocha all the time, it automatically becomes a word. If someone can look at a tree and say, hey, that's a tree, and then the entire world collectively goes, yes, that is now a tree, then I can say undwelf and make it a thing, right? I hope I get some support on this matter. It's enough that I don't get a high five from Mocha, but I should be able to make up my own words. Wolf says Medusa is an interesting topic. Yeah. Head full of snakes and turned to stone. And how did Hercules defeat her again? Was it Hercules who defeated her? Unc says I tried to find her, but found a singer. Here's what I can do. Unc, if that didn't work, you are now a moderator, and you can click on Eric LaPointe's channel. And at some point, you don't wish to be a moderator, let me know. But if my link doesn't work, then you can just go ahead and click on his. Squirrel Senpai says, Wolf, very. Many want to do this. She was real, but the story comes from a much darker background. Hey, what are your sources for the research, Sniper? Ahmed says, great job to Unc. Brian says, I used to do mine fastest times when I first started. Yep, so did I. You know, the whole busy dad, how many can I get in 20 minutes? But I'd like doing them slow as well, so I'd always do a finisher. Natural Sound says he supports Sniper as well. Awesome. Medic says, well, I thought Dottie had a premiere, but nothing there. I think she said 7:30 Great Britain time. Eric Point says, Brian, no, I love all the tips I can get. Yeah, Brian, Eric the Point, you have some good people here. Unc, Brian Lane, Jacob. I haven't seen Jacob today. Hope his knee is doing okay after his 430 burpees yesterday. And of course, Burpee Reaper. As well as others. I mean, we have the OG, Osiris. Started the whole thing yesterday. He pops in from time to time. Definitely take advantage of any live stream with any one of those guys and ask all kinds of questions. Unc says, you just do any forms of burpees work as long as you don't get hurt. This is true. Hey, this is from a guy who's taken that philosophy to 1,500 days. So yeah, when Unc drops some wisdom, definitely pays to Pay attention. Squirrel Sniper says the Medusa was shown to kill the Kraken in the Greek mythology, turning it to stone. So, Sniper, I don't understand what you mean by a darker. As that's a pretty dark origin there. Medic says, yes, I claim the right to use the word cluster. Should I say the whole thing when I'm this close to being monetized? You see, Medic can say it. He's already there. He has reached the golden shores of monetization. I'm right at the cusp. If I say that and they say, we'll clean it up. We'll say cluster duck. And now we know the origin of the word comes from UK Medic. Brian says he agrees with Unk. We get a thumbs up from Natural Sound. Ahmed says he agrees with Unk. Hey, Ahmed, are we going to get some burpee videos coming up? Well, I'd love to see that. Here we go. Sniper says, but in reality, it was the victim of sacrifice to the sea gods by an offering of a squid, the face of a willing soul. They were always drugged. Perseus defeated Medusa, if I spelled it correctly. However it is spelled, I will mispronounce it. With Pegasus, yes. I love exploring darker mythology and how just because we say darker, to not lose sight that what it has to show us, that it actually exposes our shadow side. I've always had a great interest in exploring and utilizing the shadow. Of course, the shadow being everything that we can't claim about ourselves, positive or negative, being stuck within that shadow, as Jung called it, the dark bag that we drag behind us for the majority of our life. Ahmed says, thanks all my friends, your unconditional support and kindness. You are welcome, my friend. And thank you for yours. As I said, I have you up right now. And absolutely happy to do so, because at any minute I can take a nature break. It's the same reason why that even now that Medic is monetized, that I will still have him up and running, because I get to dive in and take a nature break. It's also why I visit Eric LaPointe's cows and Brian Lane's turtles, among his other many, many great nature videos. Perseus, says Medic. Thank you for that. Medic says you can swear it's only if you do it frequently throughout a stream. You know what? Better not for me to open that Pandora's box even a little bit. Actually, the only time I ever swear is usually for not really when I'm angry or upset or anything like that. I might do it for humorous effects with Mocha, because she always says it just doesn't sound right coming out of my face. Sniper says, page 172, Atlantis, the Antediluvian world by Ignatius Donnelly. setting the Urite Egerton skies in his own work, Medusa, the Pulp, and the Kraken, 1949. Man, Squirrel Sniper definitely loves to dig into the vaults. Wolf says, thanks, Medic. Medic says, you were close enough. Sometimes that's all that matters. Ahmed says, if you like my videos, please share. Your friend also, my friends, definitely please share. I have been putting his videos out lately. It's good to help him. You know what? You're also doing a service to your friends because they get to experience the healing effects of nature, even from their screen. Ahmed says, yes, I asked to, congrats to UK Medic also, sir. Flower is back. Did he fall asleep? Are you saying you're good to go again or got to go again? Flower says, Rye, have a great day, please. Have a great day, people. Have a great day. Have a great day. Ahmed says, hi, Flower. Happy Sunday, dear. Silent moderators here. No longer silent. Still moderating. Says, bye, Flo. Silent mod, how are you? We are now well into our second hour. We'll see if I have the stamina. I don't have the stamina of a UK medic on a live stream. I certainly don't for Masha. You know, I don't know. I might if I ever cleared up my other stuff that I do. But I appreciate people who can do that. As mentioned before, our friend Noble did several 12-hour live streams. Ahmed says, happy High Flower and happy Sunday. Silent Mod is good. Tired and sad currently. I'm sorry about that. You know, the two might be connected. Our mood, our emotional state are intimately connected with the quality of our sleep, as well as the lack of sleep. One thing to remember, our emotional state isn't, it's not something that always occurs on a whim, that we do have a certain amount of control. You can do breath work. You can do meditate. I know a lot of times, especially for a 15-year-old, that might sound like a lot. And who wants to sit still and think a mantra or watch the breath or visualize a candle flame or any of the other. But your life can change. Your life can change right now, beginning with the breath. Simply study. How am I breathing? Where's my breath originating from? Am I breathing from the belly? Is my stomach rising and falling gently? Or am I gulping in air from my mouth? Am I breathing high in the chest? Or am I breathing from the diaphragm? And then you just take mindful notices. Don't do anything different yet. Just notice the breath. And then in just that noticing, it begins to change on its own. So Ahmed says, today I visit at your house and office, sir. I appreciate that. Always good to have visitors. Silent Mod says, just wanted to pop in and say bye, Yogi. Well, I appreciate you stopping in to say hi. Let's talk about the bye. taking a few steps for your own emotional needs, it'll improve your sleep, it'll improve your creativity, it'll link you into the very source of inspiration itself. Things start falling into place. One thing that you'll note in short order, it's okay to be sad. You don't even have to try to change it. When you're sad, it's okay to be sad. Here's when suffering comes in. When people say, cheer up, don't be sad, you have no reason to be sad. And then you say to yourself, why am I sad? Why do I feel this way? What can I do to change it? Don't do anything to change it. Not yet. Notice it. Accept it. And then love yourself through it. Love yourself while it's happening. Being sad isn't a negative thing. It's just an emotional state. It comes, I'm making hand gestures that no one can see. It comes, it stays, and it flows. Another thing you'll notice, it's not static. Our sadness, our depression, our any state, it has a quality, or in philosophical terms, it has a qualia, something that we can taste, that we can feel, that we can notice. But it's always in motion. It's never static. William Downey is here. William says, Yogi, hi, sir. Hello, my friend. How are you? I mentioned you earlier this afternoon. William says, just a quick hello. I appreciate that. Always appreciate you stopping in. I'm hoping I'll be able to catch you on a workout sometime this week. I'd love to catch you on a bench day. If you guys want to experience just some good old-fashioned hard work in the garage gym, nothing fancy, weights and reps. When you do it right, you don't need anything fancy. Definitely go spend time with William. William says, good, well, I woke up. I'm doing good. It's always the first step, isn't it? William says, yep, Tuesday morning bench. I hope I can catch it. I'm going to be on the lookout for it. His last arm session was fun. He hung out with a neighbor. He got his arm work in. He made himself breakfast, or was it lunch? And then just chatted. Had a nice conversation. Definitely reminded me of my time in the gym. Ahmed says, William, share watching TV. It's fun. William says, my arms are still sore. I bet. And as I mentioned before, you have some serious equipment, William. Impressive. That's an impressive home gym. You were one of the inspirations I mentioned. I'm switching my burpee workup around. You, Burpee Reaper, and Duncan Walsh. Duncan Walsh, not so much with the weights, although he does do weights. He doesn't highlight that often. You mostly see his body weight stuff. But Duncan does spend some serious time in the gym. I mean, he was a professional athlete, so as expected. But so I'm doing my own version of Burpee Reaper's routine. One body part a day, moderate to high reps, just 2 or 3 sets for that body part, and then you follow it up with your burpee workout. So it is starting the just Yogi doing burpees in his basement, and also doing some weights and other body weight stuff. It's going to be an even longer channel. The purpose is to just make some physical changes. One, I I miss getting those arm pumps. I mean, you get it doing pull-ups, but not the same as doing curls and doing. For me, it's probably going to be kickbacks, maybe some bench dips. Um, Nothing like an arm pump, that's for sure. And it'll be interesting doing burpees when your arms are pumped. So yesterday was pull-up day, and then I did 100 something of one pumps. Today was dips. I did 2 sets of dips. One without weight, seeing how many reps I could get. One with adding just a little bit of weight. And then I did whatever time I had left minus the previous work. I think it was like 13 and a half minutes. So I did 80 something, 2 pump burpees. William says, nice Yogi. We're all here to be reminded and learn what we know, but be reminded of what we know. Exactly. And it never hurts to get back to your roots. You know what I mean? I started out, well, as a kid, I started out doing body weight training with the director of the YMCA, who would have us do, the old-fashioned Army, Navy calisthenics, toe touches, squats, burpees, of course, without the push-up, squat thrusters, they called them, body weight squats, we did sit-ups, and then we would go for a trail run. He built a great foundation for the rest of my life, actually. And I might have been 11, 12 years old. And then I got a bull worker, if you guys remember those. I think maybe Eric LaPointe might remember them. I think probably William remembers them. That was a decent workout. And I wouldn't mind getting one again, as demonstrated by a friend, Robotics. A great channel to check out, guys. I should look for a link. William says, that's how I should have said it, back to roots. Yeah, I mean, going to the gym, doing that type of workout was standard for me up until when I got about 30, I started to do Olympic lifting. Didn't compete. I just liked the moves. William says, I will see you later. Have to run, buddy. Take care, William. Appreciate you stopping by. So let's see. I'd like to see if I could drop the link for Robotics channel, but I don't know if I can. We will try. I think Eric LaPointe would appreciate some of the stuff that he does. No, I'm going to have to do that. Maybe I'll do it on the evening live stream. So I don't know if our friend, the Silent Mod, is still here. So it sounds like you're going through something again, going through something still. Man, if I could urge you to do one thing, it would be just to let you know it's okay to go through something. Doesn't make you out of the ordinary. As a matter of fact, it makes you very, very ordinary. We have all gone through something. We will all go through something. Many of us are still going through something as we speak. I mentioned before, one of the reasons why I didn't participate in the World Burpee Day was just I could feel that sort of energetic scattering. And I knew that it was time to double down on my practice. Not overextend my commitments. And that, you know what? I didn't have to. I could take care of myself. There was a time in my life when I would have went and did something that might not have been best for me because I felt that I had to. I had to do this or do that or whatever. Here's the truth. Even when you're 15 and even when your parents are telling you what to do, um, internally, you don't have to. Internally, you can um, turn inwards and have a sense of relaxation. So I'm on my desktop, so I'm not looking at comments for just a minute because I want to see if I can find um, Rob's channel. Rob's a good guy. He wrote a book that was published right around Christmas time. And he's in Great Britain. I don't remember where though. I think he's in, he might be in Cornwall. And he wrote, it was sort of a Arthurian sort of story, a tale. It's very good. I enjoyed it. There we go. I found it. I'm going to attempt to post it. We'll see if that works. So we're going to see. I'm going to see. You guys don't have to hang with me. I'm going to talk probably for, I'm going to go for that 2-hour mark. That is about 27 minutes. I don't know what takes more endurance. Talking for 2 hours or you guys having to listen to me for 2 hours. I suspect it's a mixed lot. Actually, no, I suspect that it goes more in your favor. I think it's probably a greater feat of endurance from you guys to listen to me for 2 hours. Sometimes it's good, you know, when the comments are snappy and keep coming, something to focus on. Sometimes it's good when, I don't know, I get to, good for me, explore my thoughts, what comes up. Especially when it comes to talking with our friend Night Watcher over some of the things that he's going through, relating it to my own position when I was 15. When I was 15, I was pretty distraught over a lot of things. I didn't have a bad home life, but for whatever reason, I did not feel that I belonged anywhere whatsoever. Except finding a place in the gym, except wandering the woods, backpacking, extended periods of backpacking. I felt like I belonged to nature. I felt like I belonged in a book, keeping my nose in a book all the time. Didn't matter what the book was. Eric Point says that link worked. Awesome. He's a great guy, and he has some of the most innovative workouts on YouTube. Old school all the way back to Eugene Sandow, the father of modern bodybuilding. He'll do that workout. He uses the crusher, the bull worker, all kinds of bands. It's been a while since he's done burpees, but he is a burpee practitioner. It's overcoming a shoulder and neck issue. But you know what? As I said, I suspect people who might come in here and do listen have had their own periods of not feeling like they fit in. I think that's what has drawn many people to the path of yoga and meditation, Buddhism, is we're keenly aware of our suffering. And then somewhere along the ways, we get a hint that we don't have to suffer. This was a big, big revelation for me. The difference between being sad and suffering, the difference between being depressed and suffering, the difference between grieving, being lonely, being lost, and suffering. And that is that I added suffering as an extra ingredient in my experience. Goldie says her daughter is currently being picked up from the venue and brought home to her mom. Awesome. And what all do you have waiting for your daughter when she gets home, Goldie? You know, just about every mother loves her daughter and son. But I love hearing Goldie talk about her daughter. As I mentioned to her yesterday, it takes on an extra shine. I don't know why. It just, for me, I can feel it. Amazingly so. When someone talks about their daughter in a chat on YouTube, and it shines through, is an absolutely amazing thing to experience. So I'm actually thankful for that, because hey, no one is ever left untouched by love, however it's experienced. That Goldie's love for her daughter doesn't leave anyone who ever comes in contact with it in any way, be it if you're actually there or if you're experiencing it in a YouTube live stream from thousands of miles away. No one is ever left untouched. Ahmed says, Rob's exercise are very amazing, sir. Yeah, they are. He's inspired me to, as I mentioned, I used to do the bull worker. I used to have a crusher. Common stuff. My parents got me a bull worker. I think I was 12. First time I ever saw a bicep. First time I ever saw my bicep. Meaning that, you go from that 12-year-old, typical 12-year-old body, to all of a sudden you're seeing some signs of potential. Like, hey, I could actually have a muscle. What a big change. And the Princess Vampire says, cabbage rolls, macaroni and cheese, chicken noodle soup, which is, hey, I believe, standard fare for vampires, if I'm not mistaken. Everyone thinks vampires, it's all about the blood. That's in special occasions. Standard, cabbage rolls, macaroni and cheese, chicken noodle soup. That is the diet of champion vampires. You can trust me on that. No need to look it up. Just go ahead and accept it at my word. So when we talk about Buddhism, when we talk about yoga, people think it's, especially yoga, it's a path of exercise, a path of flexibility. Maybe someone knows about breath work. Maybe someone knows that meditation fits somewhere in there. What it is a path of recognizing and reducing our own personal suffering, and so in doing so, reducing the suffering of the world. Teaches us not to spiritual bypass our issues. If our friend Nightwatcher is sad and someone says, hey, cheer up, you don't need to be sad, and Nightwatcher were to say, yeah, you're right, and he stuffs that sadness inside into the shadow that he's going to have to drag behind him for the rest of his life, as Jung said, it's spiritual bypassing. And by bypassing, it means it doesn't go away. You're not healed, you're not cured, you're not over it. You just stuff it deeper and deeper and deeper, but it doesn't go away. The shadow always surfaces. The shadow surfaces in the negative tendencies that happen in our lives. And at the same time, the shadow is the refusal of accepting our own innate greatness, which is why we have hero worshiping. This guy is awesome. I'm not even worthy of being in his same company. That's the shadow speaking. In yoga, It is called the five afflictions, the five caches, which are the vills that keep us from realizing our own innate spiritual goodness, our humanness, our essence, our beingness. Don't want to miss anything. Ahmed says hi to Princess Vampire. And yoga is a path of diving in deep and looking at those afflictions and realizing that there's something deeper. It's not the truth. That how we engage with the world is only because we're stuck in this belief system. I mentioned before the five afflictions or the kleshas are attachments. I'm not talking about just physical stuff. Our attachments to our beliefs, our attachments to our ideas, our attachments to our spirituality, our attachment to our opinions, to the people in our lives. Attachment in and of itself isn't bad, but if we don't see it as an attachment, knowing that everything changes, that what we have now will one day not be there now, we're going to suffer. And then we have our aversions, the things that we don't like when we're sad, like when we're depressed, like when we're this or when we're that, and we don't accept them. We want them to be others. We don't want to be sad any longer. We don't want to be depressed any longer. But as the Buddha would say, you only have what's here. You only have what's now. The more you can accept it at the deepest level, the less you suffer. And then we have the belief that we are solely our thoughts, our opinions, our ego. That the ego, that voice in our head, is who we are, instead of being the witness to that ego, instead of being witness to the thoughts. We're the observer. We're not the observed, at least not exclusively. So the more that we can relate to the world as the witness, easier life is. And then there's the fear of death, which many people might say, I don't have a fear of death, but everything we do is based upon some type of fear of death. We build monuments to ourselves. We want to leave something behind, which of course we can't. We can leave something behind temporarily, but history wipes out everything eventually. And then finally, ignorance. Advita, or vita. Advita means the absence of ignorance. Vita means ignorance. And by ignorance, by no means do I mean stupidity, but simply the lack of knowledge that this is all going on within us. All of these afflictions, all of these kleshas cause us to act in certain ways. And when we act in certain ways over and over and over again, they become what's called samskaras. Samskaras are mental imprints that we have in our mind. I talked about this before because I mentioned LPs, albums. You put a needle on a record and you're going to hear the song that's on that print, that's imprinted on that. Same with the CD player. If you put Zeppelin 4, man, I hope I'm talking to an older audience right now. If you put Zeppelin 4 on and you put the needle on, you're only going to hear Zeppelin 4. You're not going to hear Zeppelin 2. If you want to hear Zeppelin 2, you have to change the record. You have to change the imprint. That's what yoga does. Changes the imprint. However, if you don't change the imprint and you keep doing the same thing over and over again, for one, that's what Einstein supposedly said is the definition of insanity. As well, in yoga, that is the definition of karma, is that you're going to get consequences for doing the same thing over and over and over again, and you suffer for those consequences. If you want different consequences, you do different actions. That's the path of yoga. Changes the actions, changes the imprints. It goes deep. It goes to the mental, to the emotional, to the spirit, and then deeper and deeper still. Ahmed says, how are you, my favorite vampire? Eric Point says, it's a lovely talk going on right now. Thank you, Eric. Eric is busy at his farming. The wonderful thing about yoga, addressing your own suffering. And then you start addressing the suffering of others. You become kinder, more empathetic, more compassionate, because you have to start being that way with yourself. What a wonderful thing when you start being empathetic with yourself, when you start being compassionate with yourself. You don't have to beat yourself up for every little thing. Do you know why? You're not responsible for it. It's the same cares. You're reacting in that karmic fashion. Here's what you're responsible for. You're not responsible for those actions. You're responsible for changing the origins of those actions. So you can start meditating. You can start doing breath work. You can start doing the yoga asanas, as I mentioned before. 3. You only need 3. Maybe 4. Maybe 5. But we could start with 3. We could start with 1. We could start with the sun salutation, which is a beautiful prayer that welcomes the sun, welcomes the morning, opens up the entire body, stretches the entire body, energizes the spine, opens up the energy centers of the spine, the chakras. You are literally linked with the spirituality of the sun when you do it. Meditation acts as a cleansing, palate cleansing. It starts removing those samskaras, and we get very introspective. We start seeing that in our entire lives, we've been reactive. We still don't respond to anything. You know what we respond to? We respond when someone's being kind to us. We respond when we are dealing with someone that we love dearly. When a father is addressing his daughter, most of the time, it is responsive. When a mother is addressing her daughter, we're responsive most of the time because we care so deeply. But how often are we responsive with ourselves? How often do we just react? We put ourselves down or we puff ourselves up. We're reactionary. What do we do when someone cuts us off in traffic? We react. What do we do when someone bumps into us? A lot of the time, we react. We do the same thing with ourselves. The entirety of the path of yoga teaches us to be responsive, gives us a choice. A lot of times people love talking about conspiracy theories, and they always gloss over the most important and maybe the only true conspiracy theory of them all, what Alan Watts called the conspiracy against knowing who we truly are. And it's a conspiracy that we play against ourselves. And we can fix it right now. I think a lot of people don't want to sit in meditation, which is absolutely fine. My breathwork coach teacher claims, and as much as it might pain me a little bit being a meditation teacher, that you can receive 90% of meditation effects by doing breath work. 3 times a day, therapeutically as needed. So we're talking 3 minutes in the morning, we're talking 3 minutes in the afternoon, we're talking 3 minutes before we go to bed to help prepare us for sleep. And we have emotional and physical benefits, psychological benefits to each and every one of them. We do a higher paced breathing method in the morning. It wakes us up. It improves the digestion. It tones the abdominal muscles. It puts us very lightly into that parasympathetic, higher energy, fight or flight. We're ready to face the day, but with just enough of that hormonal response that we're not snappish. We just feel good. It also warms up the lungs. There's just so many benefits to that. And you do, generally speaking, the way I teach it, 3 rounds, 20 breaths with some breath holds thrown in. It takes a little over 3 minutes. And then if you want, you could sit 5 minutes quietly, observing your thoughts, observing your breath. Very silent, 2 minutes. So now you've covered breath work, you've covered a very short meditation. You're good to go. You could follow that up with 2. Did I say 2 yoga moves? Maybe I said 3. Let's go with only 2. We're doing a minimalist routine. Because you've done your breath work, you've drawn within, you've covered just about every path of the 8 limbs of yoga. Pretty amazing. And we're talking about 10 minutes so far, if even that. And your life begins to change. You start becoming, again, more responsive. Someone like our friend Nightwatcher, just doing breath work, everything would begin to change. I don't know if I would recommend meditation for him. As he experiences ADHD, it would be difficult for him to sit. But he's already breathing. Guess what? We have the perfect tool to work with. You're already breathing. Right now. Don't have to do anything special. You don't even have to do the pranayama that I mentioned. Notice your breath. Just pay attention to it. How often do we notice? We might notice we're sighing, or we took a deep breath in. But do you notice, are you breathing through the nose, which is the optimal way of breathing, or are you breathing through your mouth? High in the chest, are you breathing through the diaphragm? How we breathe is how our emotional state is. So if you find that you're agitated, first be aware, and then make a change. Nothing changes until you're aware. That's the amazing thing with the kleshas that I was talking about. If you just know that they exist, and you see how your life unfolds from all of them, that right now, am I responding this way because I'm attached to my opinion? Am I responding this way because I am averse to this person's opinion? Imagine if politicians, imagine if people in different political parties realize that, do I have this view? Have I ever examined why I have this view? Did I inherit it from my parents, from teachers, from the media? Did it form organically on its own? And am I refusing to listen or understand this person because I'm so attached to my own ideas, whatever they are? Imagine if 2 people realize that. Doesn't mean you get rid of your opinions, but you realize that, hey, I don't need to be so attached to my opinions, that I can just as easily hold on to my opinions and know that this person has every right to have the opinions too, and that maybe they don't know anything about yoga, and maybe they're completely attached to their opinion and they suffer because of it. Because anytime you make someone wrong, anytime you walk away puffed up and feeling superior, it leads to suffering. We don't accept anyone's suffering. When the world suffers, everyone suffers. Every single one of us. So, I've almost hit my 2-hour mark. I'm going to hold steady. 6.5 minutes. And there's still 5 people left, maybe, in the chat. Nice to know they can hold steady, even when I'm spewing out yogic stuff. Hey, guys, it's in the title. If you click on the link that says just a yogi doing burpees in his basement, you know 3 things. He's going to talk about yoga. He's going to talk about burpees, and that he has a basement. I don't know if those 3 are equally important. I don't know if anyone needs to know that I have a basement. But that's the place I do my burpees. I have toyed with the thought of being just a yogi, but hey, I got to stick with my roots. I came onto YouTube with a burpee agenda. I like holding on to that. Am I attached? Not necessarily. Am I still attached to some things? Am I still dealing with my own kleshas? Am I liberated? I am not liberated. Yes, I still deal with my own kleshas, but I'm aware of them. That makes life infinitely easier because I'm instantly forgiving to myself. If I react, if I have a moment of unkindness, if I have a moment of emotional unsteadiness, when I am depressed, which I am often, I know I'm not really depressed. I just know that depression is there, and I can sit with it, and I can be kind to myself. When I mess up, when I do something that I'm not happy about, I can be okay being not happy about something, and I can also forgive myself. I don't even have to move on, because you know what? That's taken care of. Life moves on. It brings me up whenever I get the opportunity to use it in a conversation. My favorite quote about forgiveness from Mark Twain. I'll probably mess it up slightly. Forgiveness is the fragrance released from the violet, shed from the violet, upon the heel that has crushed it. Let me try that again. Forgiveness is the fragrance shed by the violet upon the heel that has crushed it. Meaning, as soon as it's crushed, instantaneous fragrance of the flower, instantaneous forgiveness. Life forgives. It's already taken care of. So just continue on with life. If someone says, am I forgiven? What they're asking you is, has your ego let go of its sense of being hurt? Because in truth, you're already forgiven. Hey, if Jesus can hang from the cross and look down upon the people that tormented him and then nailed him to the cross, and then look at his Father and offer great yogic wisdom that forgive them, Father, they do not know what they do. That's the kleshas. We don't know what we do. But through the practice of any of those modalities in yoga, through the practice of Buddhism, through the practice of deep prayer work, through the practice of any path that has a psychological aspect to it, that has a practice to it, we become aware. And everything changes through awareness. We get some thumbs up from Ahmed. Eric LaPointe says yes. So I appreciate you guys bearing with me. And as mentioned before, hey, if anyone wants to learn breathwork as described, I teach it. I'm a certified breathwork coach through Yoga Body, as well as a pranayama breathwork teacher from Bodspear. However, for those who come on the chat, once and say, hey, I wouldn't mind a little help. For those who come to the chat every so often and say, hey, I'm curious. For those who come every day and might be interested, I teach absolutely for free. I teach my friends for free because it's an amazing practice. And it's just so easy to incorporate in your day. How you breathe is how you live your life. You can, I don't know of anything else where you instantly change your physiology, you instantly change your emotional state, you instantly change your energetic state. Just in the space of 10 breaths that you pay attention to. Can change how you conduct business, how you interact with your family, how you interact and treat yourself. That's the amazing thing. Ahmed says, yes, sir, I try your session. A lot of it is up there, Ahmed and Eric LaPointe. I believe on my channel, I actually made it public that these were the videos that I used when in my certification class, demonstrating how to do them. So there, people can dive in and then I can answer any questions. Eric says you can make a video so I can keep going back to it and study it. Hey, if it's not clear, let me know and I'll make a new one. This was a couple years ago. John Doe says, how profound. Thank you, John. How are you? And I'm about to hit that 2-hour mark, the half marathon mark. I've yet to do the UK Medic full 4-hour marathon. He remains the champ, the undisputed YouTube champ. I put Ahmed and UK Medic right up there. Both together, the best nature videos out there. With the fast rising star of Eric LaPointe. And Brian Lane. And you know what? In my own opinion, my own thoughts, there is no bad nature video because you captured nature. I've talked about this often with Eric Lapointe. Um, you capture nature from your own unique perspective that no one else in the entire universe could, and you put it out there. You gifted it. Eric Lapointe gave me the gift of cows and woodchucks and snakes and turtles. I get the same gift of birds from our friend Ahmed to perfection, literally to perfections. UK medic, otters, the occasional cow, um, and all the other beautiful nature. Foxes, great fox videos, awesome fox videos. I've yet to be able to get one that close. Yesterday, 3 foxes on a hillside. Happy that I was always happy just to see them. I wrote about that this morning, and it's actually on my community page. And I did catch them on film, but it was a little from a distance. Goldie says, hi there, John Doe. So, anyway, as mentioned, I hit the half marathon mark. 2 hours. I'm going to refuel. I'm going to do my own breath work. And have a little something to eat. I'll be back in about 2 hours. I almost sounded Canadian there. I almost said in a boot. I think maybe I've been listening to David Witten over the burpee holiday that we had. Goldie, have a wonderful dinner with your daughter. It's a special occasion. I know it's going to be a beautiful occasion with you two. So enjoy. I'll be thinking about you. I'm sending you both love. Ahmed, what an awesome friend you are. So much support. Thank you. As everyone. Pretty amazing when I look. Just so the people who showed up, even just for a little bit, and the people who show up all the time. Eric Lapointe, Goldie, Ahmed, of course Mocha. Mocha has no choice but to show up. William Downey, John Doe, our new friend John Doe. I appreciate you coming back. And Night Watcher, the Silent Mod, our friend Flower. Thank you guys. Squirrel Sniper, Brian Lane, Dottie. I don't want to miss anyone. I covered UK Medic as well. Guys, I'll see everyone later. Oh, Barb and Wolf. I definitely don't want to forget them. Amazing people. I will see everyone. I mention this all the time. If you're bored, you got nothing better to do. If you can't sleep, stop on by in about 2 hours and we'll hang out. We'll talk about whatever. It doesn't have to be about yoga. Eric says, another great live. Thank you, Eric. You guys take care. Enjoy the rest of your day, whatever it is you guys are doing. I'll see y'all later. Take care.